What's up, YouTube? And this is my Mustang GT PP1 Performance Pack. This video is actually long overdue. I got this car back in August 2022 and I absolutely love this car. This car has been amazing. This was like one of my dream cars in high school. Like I really wanted a Mustang GT. I'm just gonna give you guys a little walk around of the car and just see some of the things I've done to it so far. All right, for the first mod that I've done to this car, I lowered it. I put it on some Eibach lowering springs. So basically, these springs kind of get rid of that gap that all Mustangs have when they come from the factory. Basically, it was looking like a monster truck. But the Eibach lowering springs got rid of it instantly. And also, you can feel the difference in handling with the Eibach, that lower center of gravity. So with this being a performance pack Mustang, you're gonna see that it has 6-piston Brembo brake calipers here. I kind of wish that they did a different color just to kind of make it pop a little bit. The gray and black just kind of gets lost in the black wheel here. On the front tires here, they're 255s. These actually came with the car when I bought it. This is a used car, so it came with Pirellis in the front. And then in the back, 275 Continental Extremes. This also came with the car when I got it. As you can see, there's a 2-piston brake caliper in the back, which I kind of wish that they did the same thing what they did with the GT350 and kind of made it, you know, where it's like a Brembo caliper just to make it look a little bit cooler. Come into the back of the car here. This is like my favorite. I love the spoiler that they put on here. It has like a little lift off the back there. If you can see, it kind of has like a little angle that shoots up. I'm definitely thinking about putting like a wicker bill on the back there. So another thing with the performance pack, you get valved exhaust. So this, I don't know if you guys can even see it, but inside the muffler, there's a valve that opens and closes. It comes in handy like if you're coming home and you don't want to wake up your neighbors, or when you do a start in the morning. The cold starts on Mustangs are so brutal. That kind of calms it down a little bit. And I love this diffuser that they put on the Mustangs, like the newer generations. So now to hear how the exhaust sounds. So this exhaust is not stock. It has an X pipe in the middle, so just keep in mind this won't sound like how stock sounds. But I'll link the exhaust that I got on here. It's by Steeda. It's their X pipe. Sounds amazing. It opens the car up and it also has some performance. So yeah. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the exhaust on Mustang GT. All right, so moving on. So just to explain this little sticker I have on the back. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I like every time I look at this car, I thought of like stormtroopers. So since it's white, we call it Snowtrooper. That's my Instagram. Please follow. Going up to the roof here, I actually wrapped this part of the roof. I wrapped it with some 3M gloss black. I didn't do a perfect job, but I kept it because, you know, I did it myself. Even though I really wanted to take it to somebody after I was done, because there's a lot of wrinkles, but I think it builds character. All right, so going back towards the back, kind of want to explain a little bit more of what I did to the back here. Did like some subframe bushing supports to the back of the Mustang. And basically what that does, eliminate wheel hop a little bit. I still have wheel hop, but I installed Steeda's subframe bushings and their alignment kit to the subframe, and I suggest everybody who has a Mustang do this, please. It makes so much of a difference just with that kit itself, and I'll probably link it in the bottom of the video, but it basically makes the subframe just stronger. When you launch, you don't get so much play in the back. It tries to keep it planted. So definitely want to get that if you have a Mustang EcoBoost or GT. I would get it. It makes a huge difference. Looking under the hood. All right, big old V8 in the middle. With this being a performance pack, you get a strut bar, which is factory from Ford. You also get these bracings to the frame of the car right here, which is really cool. So it kind of gives it that stiffer rigidity in the front. Also, where the strut bars are connected, I have camber plates. So that's a good idea when you lower the car. You want to put camber plates just to have your tires not wear so bad in the inside, because the tires are kind of like this when you lower it. My hand can focus. It kind of goes in like this, kind of like that. So you could probably kind of see it, but the camber plates kind of help it be a little bit, just a tad bit more square and give you a little bit of adjustability. Another cool thing about this engine bay, these hood vents are actually functional. There's actually outlets that let hot air out, which is really cool. I didn't even know that. Didn't know that until I popped the hood. No, I'm joking. But yeah, these are actually functional hood vents that dissipate heat. So another thing I love about the styling of this car are these 3 LED lights in the front. So yeah, you see the 3 LED bars right here. It makes the styling look so aggressive. I love that. It just gives the car like a meaner look to it. Just the side profile, the way it just loops down. It definitely has like a European sports car feel to it. Just the way it's styled. This looks so cool. All right, making our way into the interior of the car. All right, opening the door. So since this is the performance pack, and this one has the option of the LCD screen for the dash, and also has the LCD screen here for the navigation and music and whatnot. So this is how it looks when you press the start button here. All right. So the cool thing is with this dash, I love how quick all the animations are and just how quick it shows you information. Right now I got it in track mode, and this is showing me like pretty much like all the data or all the temperatures of everything, and it's running operating temps and numbers and whatever. I just like looking at it because it looks cool changing when you're driving. All right, so there's like a couple different things that you could do on this dash, which is really cool. You could change the cluster, basically the gauges of the car. I got mine in track because I kind of just like looking at the numbers changing constantly. I think it looks cool. But sport makes it look like this, and then normal kind of gives it that classic Mustang gauges that people are pretty used to, or they come standard in pretty much all the Mustangs. And yeah, looks cool. You can also change the color, and I know you can do this with pretty much all the other dials and gauges on other Mustangs, but yeah, it's just really cool that you can just put different combination colors here, which just gives it that personal touch for the car. You can also change the lights in here. When it gets darker, you can actually change like the LED lights in here, which is really cool on the performance pack. So to the transmission, this is a 10R80 Mustang, basically automatic 10-speed, shifts so fast. The reason why I got it is because I actually test drove the manual, and the manual just didn't, I don't know, it was quick, but it just, something about this 10-speed that Ford put in this car, it's just something about it. It just shifts so fast. It reminds me of a DCT, which is kind of crazy, but it doesn't shift as fast as a dual clutch, but it feels like it. It gives it that same like linear speed. It's almost like driving this car feels like a CVT in a way when it accelerates. So it's not the smoothest transmission in the world. That's why I kind of say it reminds me of a DCT, because it will buck at you sometimes when it's downshifting. And I already kind of did like a thing to make it relearn how my driving is. But when I first got this car, it was definitely like very like clunky to drive. It kind of was miserable at first, like trying to drive and understand this car, because of how this shifts. It's not the smoothest shifts in the world, but overall this transmission is pretty good. There's 3 levels to it, and it's just amazing. And basically when it's cold, the car kind of just knows that it's cold outside, so it'll put the heat on for you. It also has a heated steering wheel right here in the Performance Pack, and it also has dual climate control, so if you have a passenger, they can choose whatever temp they would like to be. And there's some gripes I have about this infotainment system, but I'll do that in a later video. It just kind of has some faults in it when it comes to Apple CarPlay, and yeah, just some things that are kind of quirky with it. You can pretty much like set everything in here. Another tip I want to give you guys is definitely set up your app on your phone. It's called Ford Pass. Ford Pass gives you the ability to basically start your car and remotely satellite, because pretty much I think all performance packs come with satellite radio. But yeah, this gives you lock. You can unlock and lock your car. You can start it. You can even activate the horn from the app, which is really cool. And you can also see where your car is on the map. It gives you like a location of where your car is, and it'll show you anytime it started. So yeah, if your car is ever stolen or something like that, you'll be able to track it down. But yeah, it's good to sign up in this infotainment system. But the infotainment system, functionality wise, it's all right. It's a little, just a tad laggy, but it works. It's pretty clear. I like it. This is the emergency lights. This is your traction control. This is your steering. There's like 3 levels of steering that the car can give you, but it's like electronic. This is modes. Basically, you can go into like, I think it's like 5 different modes. Yeah, so this is, we're currently in normal. That's what it starts off in. You got your Sport Plus, track, drag mode, and then wet. Yeah, so these modes are really cool because you can do like a lot of different things in these modes, especially with wet and snow. This gives you like a higher gear, so basically it can make the car kind of just be a little bit more tame when you're in the wet environments and kind of give you less power. And this is also helpful if you want to save gas on the highway. It's kind of like it's eco mode in a way, but yeah, there's no eco mode in V8s, so this is what you get. Another cool mode, drag mode. Yeah, drag strip mode. This gives you the ability to basically have the full power of the car. It is the very dangerous mode to be in on the street, so don't activate this on the street unless you know what you're doing or you're on the highway with nobody around you, because this will make the back end just get so swirly, and you got to know what you're doing. It's very scary to be in this mode. But the cool thing about this mode is it allows you to go in a line lock. It's going to tell you to basically hold OK to make sure that you are agreeing to go in the line lock. And then it gives you a tire animation. And then it wants you to press the brake and basically press the gas. And it'll tell you how much force you need to do to basically get the wheels to spin, to warm up in the back, which is really cool. So this is helpful when you're at the drag strip to basically warm your tires up. All right, restarting the car. All right, so there's two modes that you can activate on traction control right here. So traction control on. So this is just traction control off. Like, this is just not really cutting it off completely, because sometimes when you are sliding or losing grip, the car will have its computers kind of like calculate to put you back onto the road or back straight, that whatever the car thinks is straight. And then this is a second mode. You hold this for like 5 seconds. Make sure you turn traction control on, but you hold this for like a couple seconds. No, advanced traction control off. So basically this gives it a little bit more like leeway to the computer, like, hey, I know what I'm doing, but it'll still kind of like try to put you back straight sometimes, or it will cut the engine power off, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And there's another way to disable traction control, and it's in the front of the car. So if you ever go to the track and you want traction control completely disabled, this is how you would do it. So that switch right here, you unplug that, that completely disables traction control. Yep, I learned that from a buddy. But yeah, this car looks so menacing at night. Getting into another cool thing about the Performance Pack car is when you turn your car off right here, the seat automatically goes back, which is really cool because it gives you just a little bit more space to take your legs out of the car. And when you cut the car on, it pushes you in your position that you had it in. I like how the back seats are in this car. I like how they're designed. If you want to get passengers in the back, they can't be taller than 5'6" or 5'7", because their head would be touching the glass. And this back seat, you can kind of make it go back to where it has like gap enough for somebody to sit back there. I would say this is just perfect for like if you're in a pinch and you need to just travel with somebody, but I don't suggest somebody riding back there all the time because it's not the most comfortable ride. So yeah, both of these seats are electronic on the side. I kind of like this interior because it gives you like the old school vibes of a muscle car, but it also gives you the vibes of like kind of we're in this modern era at the same time, which is pretty cool. It's not the most luxurious interior, but it definitely is like a really nice place to be. Definitely some plastics in some areas, but for the most part it's pretty solid in here. I haven't really heard any squeaks or any creaks or anything like that, so I'm liking it so far. I like the way the interior is, and I like the way these seats kind of hug you. They're not too aggressive, and they fit people who are a little bit taller. I like the roof line. I have kind of a problem in some cars where I'm 6'1", and sometimes my head will rub against the top part of the car, but since this car has like the bubble, it could kind of like compensate if you have a helmet on or something if you were to go to the track.